Welcome to Dodgers Dogs as part of the Dodgers Daily Network. Casey Porter here, joined by Mark Watkins. On short notice here, wasn't able to put together a video for earlier today, so we're just going to kind of wander around and talk Dodgers baseball. To be honest with you, Mark, as we welcome you in, I really don't have any just specific topics. We have talked just about every topic there possibly is in Dodger world, and there wasn't a game yesterday, but how the heck are you? What's on your mind?
Doing well. Great to talk to you as always, Casey, and excited to talk Dodger baseball as always. But yeah, it's a lot more upbeat and positive time right now, the way the Dodgers have been playing, obviously, the last 4 days. So we definitely have some things to talk about there.
No doubt about it. So lots of momentum being built. What is the one thing that you have noticed lately that you're the most excited about, or that has maybe calmed your paranoia, if you will, the most?
There are a few things, but I guess number one would be the Dodgers are kind of focusing on, and Michael Conforto actually alluded to it in an interview, that they're grinding out their at bats more instead of just going for slug. And you can see that the last 4 games, they're really they've faced some pretty tough pitchers, but they're still grinding out at bats and finding ways to get on base and really making those pitchers work. And that's what they did really down the stretch last year and in the playoffs that led to their World Series championship last year. So hopefully they'll keep that going.
So we already have a comment here. The Dodgers Dogs are already showing off their A-game stuff here. This is going to be the D-backs World Series. You know, the Dodgers they have that target on their back. That's another part of what makes it hard to win a World Series. First of all, you're playing longer, so you're more fatigued, especially when you have an older roster. Second of all, it's human nature to lose a little bit of an edge. Third of all, you're everybody's World Series that next year, and especially whenever you have the roster that the Dodgers have. Zach Gallen has not had a lot of success against the Dodgers, but he is a good pitcher, and this is a Diamondbacks team that historically has had some kryptonite properties to it in terms of the Dodgers. That's true, and the Dodgers thus far this year, I think they've let down a little bit against lesser competition, and that's been a problem of theirs. But lately, I think they've been much more focused. And even though the Reds are a pretty good team, and they were very focused in that series. And like I said, I'm hoping they're going to keep that going against the D-backs. Yeah, if you remember a couple years ago, the D-backs were just full-blown kryptonite for the Dodgers because they played a style of game that the Dodgers just weren't suited to defense. The Dodgers, they like the big high-riding four seams. They like the big fastballs. They like the power profiles in their pitchers. Well, there's a trade-off to everything. Yeah, everybody likes the power pitchers. You like the swing and miss. But the trade-off to that is you're using every inch of your body, all the energy, every inch of the energy in your body. Having said that, usually you're longer to the plate. You have a longer time to the plate. And so you have a team like Arizona with guys like Corbin Carroll and all those guys that can steal bases. And although Will Smith can pop under a 2, he had no chance against those guys. So I'll say this. I'll go as far as I will make a claim this far. I think it was literally the Diamondbacks from 2 years ago that caused the Dodgers to kind of change their focus to want to control the running game better than they did. Yeah, it's a good point, and I agree. Also, that happened against the Cubs as well, because the Cubs are very athletic and good at stealing bases. But I think as the season goes on, the Dodgers, like towards the end of the season, they seem to focus more on details like that, like holding the runners more, and also. And I heard lately too that they're kind of practicing bunting more, practicing the small ball, moving runners over, et cetera. So they're kind of talking about the Dodgers.
Yeah, the Dodgers.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So I think they're kind of gearing up for the stretch run in the playoffs by doing that. And they realize that they can't – that those things are more important in the playoffs, I believe. They play a larger factor. So they want to make sure they're focusing on that. So.
You mentioned in the call it small ball. It's really not small ball. Small, right. I mean, it's bigger than small ball. I just call it winning baseball plays. Let's just put it – in aggressive baseball, whatever you want to call it, winning baseball plays.
Right.
So my post the other night about Andy Pages when he ran to third base, was I too hard on him?
I
did call him out, but God dang it, man. I mean, was
that a little too much of a Yasiel Puig move, So, I don't think you were overly hard. It was just a mental error, and I'm sure he realizes it now. When the ball's in front of you, just don't do that, especially against a guy with a arm like the shortstop De La Cruz. So But yeah, it was just a mistake, a big mistake on his part.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Okay, I'm going to put this in as dramatic terms as I can because I like to do that to drive points home. Okay. How many games do the Dodgers have left? Like 37 games, something like that? Do we know?
I don't know for sure. It's somewhere in that area. No.
Let's just say it's 37, give or take a couple. I don't know the exact number. During baseball season, I don't even know who the hell you play the next day. That's kind of you get in the moment. It's that kind of deal.
Right.
So the Dodgers literally are going to be favored in all 37 games. Think about that. Okay. So if you want to think of, the Padres are coming or the Dodgers are going to be favored in all 37 games, Mark. And the reason is, well, maybe not all 37, but pretty close to all 37.
Probably close, yeah.
Yeah, the reason is you're going to have the better starting pitcher in the lineup every game, and you're going to have the better offensive lineup as far as the two teams playing at night every single game. Right. So if the Dodgers aren't favored in all 37 games coming down the stretch or however many it is, it's going to be real close. That's how exciting this has a chance to be.
Yeah, their starting pitching is really rounded into shape. It's looking good. I mean, you look at even Emmett Sheehan the other day pitched outstanding, and so he seems to be getting better. Obviously, Ohtani is able to go deeper into games, so that's a good factor for him. And these long pitching, when the starters are able to go farther, it's a big relief to the bullpen, obviously, which was a factor for them earlier in the year. So, yeah, because the bullpen just couldn't keep as good as they were. They just couldn't. We saw that kind of in the June, July deal. Yeah, really more of the late May, June, where the bullpen was wearing down. And I think Dave has made it definitely a point to make the starters go longer. Absolutely,
he's gone against analytics to do that. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would say he has to an extent. Yeah, and they had to do it. I mean, the starters or the bullpen guys' arms are going to fall off, and props to guys like Dreyer and Kasparius and Vesia. They were all really pitching a lot of innings, and Gates was too, which may have led to his injury as well. Yeah,
went to Oklahoma City yesterday. I re-released my Hesson Chem. I didn't realize when I released that the first time it had the auto dub on it. And I did not have his interpreter next to, we have lapel mics. His interpreter didn't have a lapel mic, so I had to turn his interpreter way up. So that's the difference of those two. And I was only able to ask him 2 questions. So if you have not checked out that Hesson Kim interview yet, that was his request, only 2 questions. And I was going to honor that because he's very busy. So go check out that Hesson Kim interview. And then also had a chance to catch up with Michael Kopech yesterday. Kopech, I actually got that verified with him, how you say his last name. Going to release the Michael Kopech interview tomorrow morning. And then I also caught up with Will Klein and Luken Baker. So I'm going to release Will Klein and Luken Baker's interviews next week. What a joy it is to get to meet these guys. Mark, you got to go to Rancho last Friday, and you were a rock star, man. Interviewed Charles Davalon, interviewed Cody Morse. You took incredible video. What a great job. Talk about that, and I'll throw some video up.
Yeah, it was a great experience. Got to speak with John Shoemaker. I sat with him on the bench, not an interview, but just talked with him about some different things. And
oh, really?
Yeah.
Just in casual conversation.
Yeah, he just sat down on the bench next to me before the game, and we started chatting. And he's such a great guy, very down to earth, and so knowledgeable and everything. And he's obviously been coaching for so long. He's a wealth of knowledge, but. Yeah, talked to him, and Mike Lindskog was very gracious, and got to talk to a lot of the guys besides the interviews that I did. Chase Harlan was trying to interview with me after I was interviewing Cody Morse, but that interview went a little long, and he had a hitters meeting. So, but I did get to meet him. I got to meet Emil Morales. Both those guys are playing great for him. And
Emil's a leader. You've gotten to be in the dugout during the games, right?
Yes, and that's
Emil Morales. You can feel it. He's a leader, is he not?
Yeah, he is, and that's one of the things that John Shoemaker mentioned is that he is a leader, and he has really good positive infectious quality about him. So besides being a great ball player,
yeah. Talk about Emil Morales. Who else did you get to meet?
Let's see. I met. I talked to Brandon Bailey a little bit too, just briefly. And
how is Bales? Is he in a good mood?
Yeah. He's usually. I kind of, I'm on a basis with him where we kind of joke around a little bit. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he has a good sense of humor. So yeah. Actually, when when Snell was there, you know, and he pitched well. I said, "Wow, you did a great job coaching up Snell there." And he goes, "Yeah, I just," and he
Sure
told me,
did.
I just told him to, you know, throw the ball. You know, so he was
That's
joking
awesome.
around about it, but yeah.
You got to see a walk-off. Charles Davalon had 4 hits that night, and then the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes walked that off. Okay,
Yeah,
so
very exciting.
Very exciting. So we have a lot of people returning next week. Max Muncy returns next week. We have a question here from, and if you're on the TikTok side, we have an awesome crowd logged in. If you're on the TikTok side, Adriana, we're going to get to your comment here. Make sure and leave a comment, because that makes TikTok think that this is a video that's being interacted with, and it won't kick us off. So the question from Adriana is, when we get Max Muncy back, who are we going to move down in the lineup or out of the lineup?
Yeah. Well, I would have to say, what's the third baseman that's called up? I'm drawing a blank on his name.
You talking about Alex Freeland?
Yeah, Alex Freeland. Yeah, I would imagine it would make sense for them to send Freeland down. Yeah,
even with the September call-ups.
Well,
because Kim's coming up. That's the problem. Kim's coming up. So I mean, it's going to be either Kim or Freeland, one of the two. And I think it's pretty well known within the organization that Kim and Michael Kopech are both coming up next week.
Yeah, and I mean, Freeland, he's done a pretty good job filling in, but you know, he needs more major league experience before he can really, I think, be a big factor for him. And obviously these are big games, and Kim is kind of in the same boats, but I think that Kim offers a little bit more in terms of being able to, steal bases and use his speed in different ways. He's great defensively. Obviously, Justin Dean, he could also be sent down. He's another possibility.
Yeah.
They have a few guys that they're going to need to activate. So we'll see how that goes.
So if you watch that Hesson Kim video, one of the 2 questions I asked was, what position do you prefer defensively? What role? And he said point blank, he did not hesitate. And keep in mind, I was talking to Steven Nelson with this. When you have guys that don't speak English, like they're just very worried at all the times that their inflection is going to come off wrong and it's not going to sound right and that kind of deal.
Right.
So for them to be very black and white and clear is not a lot of times the easiest thing for them to do. But he was very clear with this. He said, I am more comfortable. I've played the infield my whole life. That's where I'm comfortable. So, yes, Hesson Kim can play the outfield, but I can tell you right now, he is way more comfortable as an infielder. So I'm not sure that you have enough time coming down the stretch to see if Hesson Kim can be an outfielder. That bodes it. So that goes against Alex Freeland, and that goes for Justin Dean. Right.
Yeah, that's true. And I figured he would have said that he's much more comfortable in the infield. He's an outstanding infielder, and he's still learning in the outfield. He's already, I would say, pretty far ahead of where Gavin Lux was in the outfield when they put him out there.
Gosh.
But he was. They kind of threw him out there. Wasn't really fair to him, even I wouldn't say, because it's not as easy to play the outfield as some people seem to think it is. Even if you have speed, it's not that easy to judge balls correctly and all that. So
I think we are on to. We're on to, if Alex Freeland's the one that gets called down, the reason is, and this has been this way in the minor leagues and the major leagues, his splits. So as a right-handed hitter, he's hitting 200. So he's basically against a right. Of course, if they throw a lefty, he can't play because his right-handed numbers are not good enough. So you have the fact that Hesson Kim is much more comfortable as an infielder. Alex Freeland has very, very large splits, and so he's probably not going to face a left-hander at all. And so I think those are the reasons why, if Alex Freeland is the one that gets the axe, whenever Hesson Kim and Max Muncy and Tommy Edman make it back. The question is, who goes that? So it's probably both Dean and Freeland, because if you get Tommy Edman back, Max Muncy back, and Hesson Kim, then it's Alex Freeland and Justin Dean and, well, one other person.
Right. That's true. Yeah, that's a good point too. And I suspect that when Edman comes back, he's going to be playing outfield a lot, which could, get a lot of people their wish and get Conforto sitting more often. Even though the last week I noticed he's actually been hitting much better the last week.
Yeah.
But how long he can keep doing that, we don't know. He's gone through spurts where he's been very good and at other times not so good. So
the question is going to be with the call-ups. I think you're going to be able to figure it out. Maybe Justin Dean has to go down. Maybe Alex Freeland has to go down. Where it's going to get sticky is whenever you add Tommy Edman, Hyesung Kim, Max Muncy, then you have to take it back down to 26 for the postseason rosters. That's where it's going to get really, really cutthroat at that point. That's going to be interesting. So more, there's games with inside the games. The games are obviously we play the Diamondbacks tonight. The games with inside the game, one is can you stay ahead of the Phillies so you don't have to play in the wild card, right? Mm-hmm. And then two is of the 4 or 5 guys that are fighting for those musical chair spots for the rosters in the playoffs, which one of them plays well enough down the stretch to make that musical chair cut, right? That's kind of a game inside the game.
Exactly, yeah. And Kim, he wasn't hitting great before he was injured, and obviously he's still a rookie. He does have a lot of valuable skills, but he could end up being the other guy that gets sent back down. We'll have to wait and see how that goes.
Yeah. And Kim did say, hey, whatever. I don't know when I'm going to be ready, that kind of deal in the interview. So we will see. Hey, one guy, Mark, I mentioned this. Let me actually throw some video up on the board. One guy that if you go back to any of our shows last year, of course, Mark wasn't on those shows then, but specifically Coach Barikoff at that point was still doing he was doing the pitch clock for AAA Oklahoma City, and he got to see Edgardo Henriquez pitch a lot. I mean, a whole lot. And I got to see him pitch both in Tulsa and Oklahoma City as much or more than anybody. And we were screaming from the hilltops this time last year. Edgardo Henriquez is not ready to be a major leaguer. Fine if you want to get his feet wet, this and that. He got put on the 40-man because he was going to be Rule 5 eligible, and the Dodgers were going to have to do that in the offseason anyways. Kind of the Alex Freeland effect. And so there was no reason not to try him and get his feet wet at the end of last year. So we were screaming, hey, he's not ready. 365 days later, I am on the exact opposite end of that pendulum. Edgardo Henriquez, I'm telling you right now, he's pitching well, but there's another gear for him. I am so excited. I think he's going to play a good role this year. I think he's going to be in the B team part, the maybe not the super low leverage positions, but not necessarily the highest level leverage positions. But man, I'm telling you, if he has a good finish this year, watch the hell out, because this guy gets comfortable. He starts raising that thing to 104, 105. This guy could be everything the Dodgers need out of him.
Absolutely, and we have to keep in mind that he was rushed through the major leagues last year. I think he went through 3 or 4 levels last year.
All 4. He started in Rancho. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's still relatively young. He's 23 years old, and so he doesn't have a lot of experience, but he keeps getting better in his command and the command of his pitches and the types of pitches that he's throwing. He's much better than he was last year, obviously.
Yeah, he absolutely is. So I actually thought I had Edgardo. Let me put Edgardo Henriquez's video. There's Edgardo. I thought I had that up there the entire time. But super, super, super pumped about Edgardo Henriquez. Pumped about the entire pitching staff. I'm very optimistic about where the offense is headed. So kind of give me your ideas on what do you like about, from Sunday forward, what do you like about what you're seeing about the offense? What are you still the most concerned about?
Well, as I mentioned before, they're grinding out at bats more and really making pitchers work hard. And they're kind of, at times shortening up their stroke a little bit instead of, just going for a home run every time. So I'm seeing that a lot more often. They seem more focused. I think they're realizing that it's getting down to crunch time here, and they really need to step up. So overall, offensively, you definitely like the way that they're headed.
So you say the Dodgers are practicing bunting and winning baseball plays. So where does that go into the strategy? Is that so my strategy with the small ball type of thing, I just lost Mark there for a second. I think he hit a button, so he'll be back here in just a second. My strategy with that, though, is I always like to play small ball for the first run of the game. Figure out a way to score that first run, because a lot of times in a game, that the hardest run to score is that first run of the game. So I like to move runners, get runners over, sacrifice some outs to make sure you score that first run of the game, get the lid off, and then see if you can open up that can of whoop ass after that. And then also I like to bring out the winning baseball play mentality towards the end of the game. Well, I think Mark's having a hard time getting back on here.
I think you might still be able to hear me. I just lost the video for some reason.
Yeah, I can still hear you, just can't see it. Did you lose your video there for a second?
Yeah, apparently. I'm trying to get that back online. Yeah.
So I like to do it for the first run of the game, and then if you need that last run of the game, say in extra innings or in the bottom of the ninth, that's when I like to use the small ball / winning baseball plays approach. So when do you like to use small ball? Definitely not every time you get a guy on first base or second base bunt.
Yeah, I mean, with the way the Dodgers are built, it just makes sense not to completely switch over and go, start bunting or trying to hit and run and such. I mean, their success has been predicated on them being able to slug. I mean, they're probably the best team in baseball at that, and from 1 to 9, they have guys who can hit home runs or at least drive the ball into the gap on a frequent basis. So, yeah, it doesn't make sense, I don't think, to completely switch over and keep doing that. But there are situations when they definitely need to do that. So it's good to have a kind of a well-rounded approach, I would say.
It's interesting. The Dodgers like to have insurance upon insurance upon insurance. Being able to move a runner, being able to bunt a guy over, being able to hit a sac fly, base running well, those are insurance policies. Because if you're not doing this, of course, we would all prefer the Dodgers go out and hit 5 home runs and score 15 runs that night. But you need to have that insurance that, hey, we can score some runs even when we're not doing that. Okay.
Yeah.
Who can you see me, Mark?
I could see you, yeah.
Okay,
and,
so let me actually turn it on.
Still trying to get this camera.
Yeah, no, we'll turn on the virtual camera here. This is Bobby Miller right here, just kind of talking about maybe some more reinforcements the Dodgers could be having. We will get into Michael Kopech here in just a minute. Kae-Sung Kim. So Bobby Miller has been a very, very intriguing and interesting development. They moved him to the bullpen, about a month ago, something like that. He has 10 or 11 bullpen outings, and he was pitching really good, but the last 2 outings, he's gone really well in his first inning of relief. Then the second inning, they've thrown him back out there, hasn't gone good. And the last outing he was out there, the second inning he threw, was not good at all. So is there any chance that Bobby, I know Coach, or Dave Roberts left the door open, but in your mind, any chance that Bobby Miller has any kind of chance whatsoever to come and help this team?
I mean, I think he's probably capable of helping the team at this point, especially if they limit him to 1 inning. But the Dodgers have so many arms already in the bullpen now that are doing well, and they have a couple more guys that should be coming back soon too. So I think the likelihood, barring injuries, the likelihood of him coming up this year is probably not that high. I guess he could replace maybe someone like Wrobleski, but I think. Wrobleski's been pitching pretty well, so I don't know who you would replace. Is
Kasparius?
Yeah, I don't know. Kasparius, he's been better lately. He did go through a stretch when he was struggling a little bit, but I guess if the Dodgers determine that Miller looks like he could be dominating, then it could be worthwhile to bring him up. Yeah,
and the problem is the last time that he pitched, he actually walked 3 guys in the second inning that he had. Okay, so the guy that the Dodgers really need to come back and pitch to his potential is this guy right here. Again, releasing our interview with him tomorrow morning. Michael Kopech, it's about 10 minutes long. He answered every question. I mean, whatever question you have about him, it is in this interview. I'm so excited to release this interview. Michael Kopech, his first rehab outing out was terrible. I even asked that question. Hey, first rehab, you didn't throw strikes. We've kind of worked our way up. Talk about that ramp-up process. So is Michael Kopech, where is he in your trust tree to begin with? And if he is, where at in the trust tree would he enter for you?
Well, I think once he gets back up to speed and has his command, I think that he'll be high on the trust tree. I think he could be a huge weapon for them down the stretch. And if they add him a healthy Kopech who has his command going, he was pretty dominant last year. So if he can get back to that level, that would be huge for the Dodgers to have him and all the other arms they have. Enriquez, Trinan's been pitching really well. Scott looks much better lately. Hopefully that keeps going. Yates. So, I mean, they could have a really dominant bullpen if Kopech can pitch like he was last year.
Well, the thing is, what they need is Blake Trinan has the sweeper, Kirby Yates has the splitter. Of course, Edgardo Henriquez has the fireball, but I don't think at this moment you want him to be your highest leverage fireballing right-hander.
Right.
So what they need out of Michael Kopech, they need that 2,800 RPM fastball that's running it up there about 100, 101, a fastball that he's going to throw up in the zone that will get swing and miss. They need that right-hander that can overpower hitters in the high-leverage situations. Exactly, he is that guy. So I think Michael Kopech, man, if he can become reliable, he is a game changer for these Dodgers.
Absolutely. I mean, a guy that can come in when they really need a strikeout, that would be very valuable. Obviously, if they have like bases loaded, nobody out, bases loaded, one out, the guy who can get a strikeout or maybe get somebody to pop up, that would be huge for him.
Yeah, and we have a comment here from Chuck Huddleston that Kopech's velo isn't there yet. That's actually part of the interview that I'm releasing with him tomorrow. He addressed the fact that his velo is the way he called it was, it's a tick down. He is not concerned about his velo whatsoever, because you got to understand, as you're seeing the video here, there's like 1,500 people here. You can hear the popcorn vendors in the concourse. He even admitted, hey, it's not going to match in terms of the adrenaline you get when you take the mound. He is 100% confident that A, as he gets further and further into his rehab, and then B, as he gets that major league adrenaline bump, his velo will get right back up there to where he needs it to be.
Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. Obviously, when you're pitching in Dodger Stadium in front of a huge crowd, that's definitely going to pump you up. I've seen a lot of guys automatically start throwing with a higher velo. So I think that'll be and once he's been out for a while, so I'm sure his velocity will steadily increase.
Yeah, it absolutely will. It absolutely will. So we actually lost Mark's video here. Will Smith, are you concerned about Will Smith? I mean, obviously we are, but is this something that Will's going to make it through? And again, Mark does not have video right now, so we're going to go to our Down on the Farm here in a second. But where are we at on Will Smith?
Well, unfortunately, he typically, like towards the end of the season, he kind of starts tailing off. I think he just, gets a little worn out as the season goes along. But he's probably this season, obviously, Dalton Rush has been filling in for him more. So, that has maybe helped him along the way. But I think he's just in a little bit of a funk, and he'll come back out of it, and he'll be ready to go, especially towards the end of the season in the playoffs. Not worried about him. Yeah.
So, okay, I'm going to say this. Yes, on Kim. Let me get it back to some video here instead of just looking at a brown screen. So Hyesung Kim has not really been hitting the ball that well for Oklahoma City. He wasn't hitting the ball that well when he went on the rehab. He's had some swing and miss to his game. So do we just automatically say, hey, Hyesung Kim is a big part of this team, even in the playoffs, just because he's fast, or just because we fell in love with his style of game, or because he was hot earlier in the year? Do we just award him that, or, do we actually evaluate the results that he's been giving and make the decision based off of that?
No, I think he still needs to be hitting, in a somewhat of a groove before they call him up. His speed and defense are valuable, but they have other guys, who can do what he does. So I don't, with everybody they have, assume everybody's healthy. I don't see him being on the roster unless he's able to contribute with decent hitting.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So we're going to continue to watch this video on the board because, again, Mark's video is not working. Then we're going to get to our Down the Farm. Do you want to stick around for the Down the Farm, or do you have things to do, Mark?
No, I can stick around. I think I would have to shut down my computer and restart it in order to get video going at this point. So I'll just stay on audio. Yeah, we're going to stay. We got the Hyesung Kim video up now. We're going to watch him. So final thoughts on the Dodgers, final thoughts on facing Zach Gallen tonight. Again, the Dodgers have had Zach Gallen's number, but he is a good pitcher. Blake Snell going, anything Dodger-related, final thoughts there? Well, I'm excited to see how they do against Gallon tonight, and see if they still have that focus and that approach that they've had the last 4 games. So it'll be an interesting test for them.
It absolutely will. So let me actually get our Down on the Farm video up and rolling. And a guy that I know that you've mentioned a couple of times that you've asked, because he is just such a tremendous defender. What kind of offensive player is Noah Miller? So I've asked several people within the organization, hey, what do you think about his defense? This isn't me speaking. This is people that do this for a living every single day. They will tell you this guy is a big-time plus defender. The offense has been okay. Coming into this year, the offense for Noah Miller, he'd been just about around a league average type offensive player. So, and then he's batting about 266 right now. He had 2 hits last night, and the thing I liked about his hits that he had last night is that they were both back up the middle here, right here. These are, see that, boom. That's what Noah Miller needs to do right there. That actually was a catch. They gave him a base hit for that. But Noah Miller, he doesn't need to hit for power. He does have some power. He just needs to be a guy that can be a league average offensive player. He's a switch hitter, as you've seen. And he could be a really good player because he might be the best defensive shortstop in the entire system. Right. Yeah. I mean, you have to wonder, what came to my mind is where he ranks with Freeland, because Freeland is a more advanced hitter, but not as good defensively, I would think. So I think that's fair to say. Yeah. So I think both Freeland's a good defender and Noah's an okay offensive player, but I think it's fair to say that Noah Miller's a better defender and Alex Freeland's a better offender. Yeah, and then also you have Kim in the mix too, as far as like who would they eventually replace in the major leagues if Muncy is eventually not re-signed. I think he has one more year after this one, if I'm right. Then possibly Freeland could be the third baseman of the future. Yeah. But then Mookie's probably going to be at shortstop for at least a few more years. So I'm not sure where Miller might play. Maybe second base. If they switch him over to second base, but then also, like I said, we have Kim in the mix too. So, yeah, but he looks like he's made progress offensively, and as you said, I've heard in certain places that he could be a future Gold Glove type major league player. Well, he won the Gold Glove in the minor leagues a couple of years ago. Yeah. Yeah. So I haven't seen him play a lot of defense, but I've heard really good things about him from you and other people. So yeah. Okay, so another guy that I think some Dodgers fans were surprised when Alexis Diaz got optioned back down. If you follow Dodgers Dogs, it's part of the Dodgers Daily Network. We told you before he went up, we told you while he was in the major leagues, that the concern was, can he beat hitters? See, that ball's not a strike. Can he beat major league hitters with the stuff he's throwing to the plate at 93, 94 in the strike zone? And then B, will he actually have good enough control and command? And I think the Dodgers decided, I had questions on that, which means that I don't think that he did. My answers to that would be no, although that's a nice pitch there. Yeah. And so I just was not surprised whatsoever that Alexis Diaz got optioned back down. We talked about Bobby Miller earlier. Michael Kopech is going back up. Does Alexis Diaz have any future for this Dodgers team for 2025? My guess is no, with all the arms that they have. I don't know. Was his velocity much higher when he was at his peak? I'm guessing it like a few miles an hour faster. Yeah, a couple of mile an hour faster, but nothing crazy. Yeah, that makes a difference. But he has really good movement on his pitches, and he has a deceptiveness to him. But that movement can also work against him if his pitches are going out of the strike zone. So no doubt, that's a good point. Right. So with all the arms that they have, I'm guessing, once again, barring injury, that he's not going to be up this year. Yeah. Okay, so let's go down to the AA level, and this is who I call the treasure trove of tools. This young man, Chris Newell, has more tools, and yes, I'm going to say this, and this is, I will debate this till the cows come home. Nobody, including Josue De Paula, including Zaire Hope, including Eduardo Quintero, including Mike Sirota, including Charles Davalon, including Jaron Elkins, nobody, Zach Earhart, James Tibb III, not one outfielder in the organization has as many tools as Chris Newell. Chris Newell has more tools than all of them. Now, does that mean that he's the better baseball player at the moment? No. He still has swing and miss in his game. It still not necessarily results on a baseball field, but it has turned into that as of the last month or so. So he went on an 0-for-13 patch recently. He broke out of that last night with this home run that you're seeing. Okay, that's his 18th home run that leads the team. It's tied for third in the Texas League in home runs. But despite that 0-for-13 stretch, he might have, I think he's been the best player in the Texas League for about a month and a half now. He's hitting .352 in August with 11 extra base hits, 24 RBIs, 20 runs scored, 9 stolen bases. Chris Newell, if the light bulb clicks with this guy, watch the hell out. This guy has big-time tools.
Well, that's some mighty high praise there to say he's better than.
I'm not saying that's the type of. I'm not saying that's the type of player he is right now.
Yeah, and I mean you've been able to see him in person, obviously. So you know, I trust what you're saying. The last I just looked up his stats. The last 28 days, 349 batting average, 421 on base percentage. Yeah, and 1060 OPS, which is that is extremely impressive. Yeah. And even over the last 90 days, his OPS is 848. So he's really turned it on. Yeah, he's looks like a legitimate prospect. Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that he's a better player. I'm not saying that. I'm saying
I get what you're saying.
From a scouting tool perspective, the run tool, the hit tool, the arm tool, the defense, that kind of deal, he has all the tools, man. He is really toolsy. I'll tell you another guy that's really toolsy that if you follow Dodgers Dogs as part of the Dodgers Daily Network, I really like this guy. Kyle Nevin. He was 5'5" all the way through his sophomore year in high school. So he was little. And so he learned how to hit like a little guy. See how you're seeing these hits up the middle? Right. So he learned how to gather base hits up the middle, stay inside the ball, go the other way, just like that right there. And then literally in 12 months, he grew to be 6'5". And so now he has this little guy hitting profile. Now, as we're going on, he's adding a little bit more and a little bit more pull side power as he goes. And so see how he stayed inside that ball? So now Kyle Nevin is trying to have that perfect mix between the little guy profile to match and mix with some big boy 6'5" pull side power. That's the process for Kyle Nevin.
Right. Yeah. Just looking at his history here, he's gone up 3 levels this year too, because he started out in the rookie league and then went to Great Lakes, and looks like he did well there. His OPS is 903, and now he's up at Tulsa. So he's looks to be moving pretty quickly now, and he's still relatively young. He's 23 years old. So it'll be exciting to see what he does.
Yeah, he had an injury earlier this year, which kept him out. That's why he started at the complex, and if you have the stats in front of you, I think he's at Great Lakes for what? Maybe 6 or 7 games. Is that right, or am I off on that?
Actually, 17. So
17.
He had 17 or 76 plate appearances there and did well.
So not very many. That's kind of my point there. But okay, right. So Maddox Bruns. Hey, this is a guy that I know he was 2021, so it's forever ago. People would have expected Maddox Bruns, as much hype as he had, to already have been in the major leagues and to have been a very good pitcher. It hasn't happened for whatever reason. Injuries. He hasn't pitched well from time to time, but Maddox Bruns is really starting to come in to his own. Okay, last night, 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. Maddox Bruns has allowed just 2 runs in his last 2 starts. That spans 10.2 innings. Again, short windows, but still, it's momentum for a guy that really needs it. So Great Lakes only has 1 week left in their season. Hopefully they make the playoffs. So he has at least 1 more start, maybe 2. But it's kind of exciting to see Maddox Bruns start to get some momentum.
Yeah, very exciting. And as you mentioned, we were expecting big things out of him this year. He's one of the most highly rated starters. And so it was kind of disappointing that he didn't pitch better early in the year, but he's really coming on strong now. So that's exciting to see.
It absolutely is. Okay, so is there anybody else Rancho-wise that you got to cover the other night that you want to talk about, Mark?
Let's see here. Yeah, let's see. I'm trying to think of some of the guys that were there. I mean, obviously Charles Davalon was. I mean, he looks phenomenal from a hitting standpoint.
Let me throw some video up on him. Talk about him for a minute.
Guy looks like he was super impressive. He looks like he can hit very well, and they have him batting leadoff.
How is he as an athlete? Is he as an outfielder athlete? Is he fast or how? I mean, you got to see him in person.
Yeah, he has some good speed. He made a really nice defensive play. He ran a ball down in deep right center field, and he's not a big guy by any. I think he's about 5'9" or something like that. But he looks like he can really hit. Kind of, I don't know. Kind of reminded me a little bit of Lenny Dykstra.
Yeah, nice. I like that.
Yeah, he's not a big guy, but he's kind of, he's got a pretty strong build, it looks like, and he can hit. He's from Canada, by the way. I said in my interview he speaks French, but he played in Florida at a I believe it was a JC in Florida before he went
Gulf
to
Coast. Yeah.
Okay, before he went to Arkansas. Yeah. But very impressed by him. And Chase Harlan looked good out there.
So let me ask you this about Davalon. Obviously, Davalon is a bat first type of guy, but that's because his bat is that good. So I mean, how would you? I mean, on a scale of 20 to 80, if I had to have you rate his defense, where would you put? I mean, it's going to get better, but where would you put it right now?
Well, it's hard to say because I've seen a limited amount of plays still. But from the plays that I've seen, you showed a clip last week too before I went to the game of him making a nice catch out there too. So he looks like he covers some good ground. So I would say at least a 60 for now, maybe a 70.
Oh, really? Defense, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that is absolutely awesome. Let me get this message typed on TikTok. We have just an incredible crowd on the TikTok side. We always do. Okay, so I'm going to play the video that you took the other day from Chase Harlan. This is a young man. What I liked about him the other day, of course, he has the big time power potential, but he took a lot of pitches and then he hit a couple balls up the middle, so he kind of showed that he also has an approach. Right.
Yeah, and he looked good out there. He's obviously he played very well down in the Arizona League, and so with him and Emil Morales, they one thing that John Shoemaker mentioned to me when I talked to him is a couple guys got promoted, obviously, but he was the Dodger system is so deep that they're able to replace them with guys like Emil Morales and Chase Harlan, who came up and who've come up and played very well for him, besides Davalon as well.
So, you mentioned the 60 grade defense maybe for a Davalon. What strikes you the most about Chet? Like when you watch Chase Harlan, you go, holy Jesus. What strikes you the most about him?
I would say that, I mean, he has that kind of long frame, and so he looks like he has some good raw power. Didn't really get to see him play much defensively, unfortunately make many plays, but he has that. His swing is pretty long, maybe a little bit too long. He might eventually make that a little more compact, but he looks like he has good raw power.
No doubt. Okay, so who else impressed you that night, or who else, not necessarily just impressed you, but that just kind of sticks out in your head that you remember from your trip to Rancho?
Jose Mesa had a really good night. He looks like he's coming on.
Hey, he's a way better athlete than people think. He's a good athlete.
Definitely. He had some big hits, and he looks like he's really coming on as a player. So I think he's making strides.
Yeah, this is Jose Mesa here. Him and Chase Harlan are kind of similar in stature and swing. Would that be accurate at all?
Yeah, I would say so. They do have a similar stature. That's a good point. And as you mentioned, swing. He has good speed. I've seen him steal some bases, and so I think he's improving little by little as a player.
Jose Mesa, very much so. There's the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes have had a star-studded roster. I mean, from day one, and then they've had like Mike Sirota gets promoted, and they just bring up new guys that are equally as star-studded. Eduardo Quintero gets moved up, and you replace him with Charles Davalon. That's kind of what you were talking about. So a guy like Jose Mesa, as talented as he is, can really kind of get fall between the cracks, can he?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think there's been much of a spotlight on him, but he has good power, as he showed right there too. So good power, good speed, and it's taken him a little while to put it all together.
I love that video right there of the coach coming down the line. That's awesome. That's awesome video.
Yeah.
Okay, who else stuck out about your trip to Friday to Rancho?
Let's see. Which other players? I'm trying to think. Obviously, Emil Morales. He's very impressive.
What impresses you about Morales? People want to know that after you've seen him live. This is all video Mark took last Friday, by the way.
Yeah, he just has a really. He's also kind of a bigger guy. You know, he's got some length to him. But
does he run well? I mean, it doesn't look like he runs all that well. Am I being too hard there?
He runs fairly well. I mean, he's not like a speedster or anything.
So shortstop or third base?
At short, he was playing shortstop.
I'm saying, where do you think his future is?
It's funny because I asked John Shoemaker that too, and he said, "Well, I don't really know yet, where he's going to end up, but I suspect he's going to fill out and he'd probably be more of a third baseman."
That's what I've been saying. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he doesn't have those like little quick movements, quick steps, and those kind of things, and
quick twitch,
athleticism of really good shortstops. So yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Did you want to cover Cody Morse or anybody else that you saw?
Well, I did. I interviewed Cody Morse, and he's such a great kid. He's just really impresses me.
Here's your video of him right here. Yeah, look at this video. Is that not amazing? Great job, Mark.
Yeah, thanks. He's just a great kid. He's fun to talk to, and his interview, he was very very talkative, and he has some good interests. He's a baseball card collector.
Yeah, he is. I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a place called Frankensons out here in City of Industry that does a lot of collectible shows, and so I told him about that. But so he's just a great all around kid, and he has a really unique delivery on the mound, and I think that could play well for him. He has some work to do. Obviously, he's still young, but wishing all the best for him, of course.
100%. And then also the last guy that you had a chance to interview him, you did not get a chance to watch him pitch yet live, I don't think. But Sterling Paddock. Tell us about what kind of kid he is and your experience of getting to talk to him. Yeah,
he's another great kid. He's one of the first interviews that I did, but he's not as big. Cody Morse was joking around. They refer to him as like I think they said the unit or something, Randy Johnson, because he's so tall. But Paddock is a shorter guy. Not nearly as tall as Cody Morse. Nobody on the team is, but he has really good stuff, as you can see right there, and he's getting better, steadily better too.
Yeah, that curveball is big time for Sterling Paddock. So Mark's video is not working. We're just going to keep it here on Sterling Paddock as we finish this show. Mark, your final thoughts on the Dodgers, your final thoughts on anything on the farm, your final thoughts about the game tonight with the Snakes, the D-backs, final thoughts overall.
Well, as I mentioned, it's exciting to see the Dodgers get kind of rounding into shape, getting guys healthy. Their starting rotation is outstanding the way it is right now. Kershaw's another guy I should touch on. He's been fantastic over the last month. But
let me throw some video. Hold on, give me a second. Let me throw my rehab video up on Kershaw. Let me flex my muscle here, and show you that we have video on just about everybody that we can. Right there, boom, Clayton Kershaw. How about that?
Yeah, Kershaw he's really he's learning how to be the crafty lefty. He doesn't have the velocity that he used to, but he's so smart. He has such a high baseball IQ that he's really kind of coming into his own as a guy with less velocity, but who really knows how to pitch with what he has. And his curveball is getting back to where it was. You see that one is phenomenal. But Kershaw, it's exciting to see him pitch the way he is. He is 5-0 during the month, so he's been fantastic for him.
Hey, Mark, I'm embarrassed.
Why is that?
Because I'm surprised at how well he's doing. How embarrassing is that you have a guy that's been as Hall of Fame careered as Clayton Kershaw, and here I am on August 29th, and I'm surprised that he's having success. I'm embarrassed for myself.
Well, I mean, it's a little surprising that he's been able to come around and pitch as well as he has. I mean, I didn't really expect him to pitch this well.
Hey, hold on. How fortunate am I? I am about 30 feet from Clayton Kershaw and about 50 feet from Alex Freeland right there. How awesome is that?
Wow.
Is that not an incredible shot right there? That's awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's some good footage right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's I mean, he's been their best starter really, which, you know, with all the guys they have, that's surprising. And if he keeps pitching like this, I mean, I kind of thought that maybe he might be a 4th or 5th starter in the playoffs, but who knows the way he's going.
Shit, who would bet against it, right? I mean,
right.
he's the one who got that Padres series going and said, screw it, we're winning this thing, right? I mean,
exactly.
He is absolutely the man.
Yeah.
By the way, we have a wonderful comment about you, Mark. Great, but Chuck Huddleston says, great stuff. You're an elite addition to an Elite Dodgers channel. So,
well,
how
thank
about
you,
that
Chuck.
comment?
I appreciate that, and definitely appreciate everybody listening. And I just love, as I said many times, I just love talking Dodger baseball, and I've been following them intensely for decades now. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we weren't able to do a show earlier today. We like to go on at 9 o'clock Pacific, but we weren't able to hit that time window. Probably won't be able to hit that time window very often. I don't know whenever it's like I texted Mark, about an hour ago, said, hey, can you go on in 15 minutes? It's like, it's a Hail Mary. It's like whenever we all have jobs. So it's whenever we can all figure out when we can go on. So the biggest thing is just turn on your notifications, because I can't give you a consistent schedule. I apologize for that. So turn on your notifications, so whenever you get it, just come on over and let's have some elite baseball chat like we always do here at Dodgers Dogs. Mark, thanks a lot for joining. Great job today, man.
All right. Thanks, Casey, and thanks to everybody watching and listening.
All right, you wonderful Dodgers Dogs. You are not the biggest crowd out there, but you are absolutely the best. And as always, beat the Snakes. It's a great day to be the Dodger.